President Marcos on Sunday night confirmed the first reported Filipino casualty in the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. In a video message, President Marcos said the victim was identified as Velazquez de Vera, a caregiver from Pangasinan working in Israel. According to the report received by the Philippine government, Rivera was assisting her patient to reach a bomb shelter when they were caught in the attack before arriving to safety. The president said Ms. Rivera has been identified by her husband, who is also an overseas Filipino worker in Israel. According to the Philippine Embassy in Israel, her identity was confirmed through biometric records at the Abu Kabir Forensic Institute, where her husband, who also works in Israel, positively identified her remains. The Israeli embassy in the Philippines hailed de Vera's selfless act in assisting her patient to safety. They alleged that an Iranian missile had struck the Filipina's apartment in Tel Aviv, leading to serious injuries and eventually her death. Marianne, like so many overseas Filipino workers in Israel, exemplified resilience, compassion, and quiet strength. Israel joins the profound sorrow of her family and the Filipino community. We mourn together and honor Marianne's memory with dignity and respect. President Marcos assured Rivera's family that the government will provide all necessary assistance. He added that Philippine embassies and labor officials have been on alert since the fighting began and are closely monitoring and coordinating to ensure Filipino safety. The Armed Forces of the Philippines earlier said it stands ready to augment possible repatriation and crisis response efforts for Filipinos in affected areas when directed. So that's what happened, folks. Out of this whole, what do you call it? Call it a war, call it a conflict, you call it whatever you want to call it. Out of everything that's going on and everybody commenting and quarterbacking and putting their spin and what's going to happen and all the propaganda from all sides, what do you talk about? I've already said quite clearly what this is about. It's about oil. End of story. Everything else is just talking heads putting their spin and opinion on it. But when it comes down to the personal level, when people get caught up in it, this girl is just an innocent, you say player in the game, just an innocent person taking care of probably an elderly patient. And when the sirens go off, she's trying to get this elderly patient to some type of shelter, according to the reports. It doesn't make it. And now, her husband, obviously devastated. Her family is devastated, and she's just trying to make a living in Israel and help her family. Not sure if she has children or not, but this is just one human story. One small human story of war. So several of you asked me, hey, when are you going to talk about Iran? What's there to say? What's there to say about Iraq? What's there to say about Vietnam? Do I use the words, here we go again? But in the same sense, the oil fields have to be secured at all costs. You do not want China securing any of these major oil fields. The world's real threat is the Chinese Communist Party. I'm not worried about the Iranians. They're only capable of causing a little bit of chaos right there, as they're doing right now. The U.S. military is about to lay waste to their capability to do anything. In a few weeks, they won't be able. A Cub Scout troop could go into Iran and take over. So the U.S. military is laying waste to the Iranians and their military right now. I'm not worried about them. I think humanity's real threat is the Chinese Communist Party. You're not going to sway my opinion on that. So by going to Venezuela, going to Iran, we are denying the Chinese Communist Party any future ability to get their hooks in on those oil fields. But back to the personal story. Again, go to any news organization, everybody's got their spin on the tactics and why, and is it legal, is it not legal. It's just all same bullshit, different day. I just can't get the energy up to talk about it and go into any more tactics, or I don't care to talk about it. I was just browsing all the news this morning. Quick browsing, what's going on. And I just come across this one story. I don't know how old this lady is, how old she was, but I don't know. It just struck a chord. Lady over there working in Israel, just trying to take care of an elderly patient or a disabled person. And gets hit by an Iranian missile or drone, whatever it was, some type of airstrike. She's no longer with us because of an airstrike sent by the Iranians. Now, and while I was looking at that, there was an article that sort of got caught up, and I had to look at the date, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is from July 14th, 2025, where another Filipina caregiver was killed in an Iran missile attack in Israel. Basically the same story. A lady named Leah Mascara succumbed to her injuries she sustained in an Iranian missile attack. And then her sister's also working there confirmed it was her. It said something about the apartment she shared with other Filipino caregivers was directly hit by missiles. Made it to the hospital, initially declared stable. She was on a ventilator, so she was intubated, but eventually succumbed to her wounds. So that's what I chose to talk about this morning. I don't know, just struck a chord. My heart goes out to her husband, her family, everybody here in the Philippines. Is she the only one? It's just the only one I'm aware of based on the current news reports. Will she be the only OFW that gets caught up in this mess? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. The reports that I'm aware of is three U.S. soldiers lost their lives. Several are injured. As far as on the American side, who knows how many people in Iran have been killed or injured. I saw a report where a girl's elementary school got hit. You don't know if that's propaganda or if that's true. Either one of them are very possible. And then you sit there and your heart goes out to all those folks there too. So that's what I wanted to bring up. Again, my heart goes out to her family in Pangasinan, as obviously they're devastated by this news coming out of Israel. Folks got friends in Dubai, Abu Dhabi right now, Bahrain. Got friends in several of those countries right now. And Obviously, it's a very scary feeling, not knowing where the next rocket's going to hit. I would say as the days go by, there's going to be less and less. I would say probably within a week or two, within a week, the U.S. military will have put most of the Wabash on their ability to do anything. They'll be lucky to get some damn clean drinking water. That's my assessment. So if you're over there listening to my voice, obviously keep your head down. But I don't think that the incoming rounds are going to last very long. Well, unless you're in Iran. If you're in Iran, it's a different story. That's what I want to talk about. There you go. That's the one news article that caught my attention. I don't know why that is. All of Fatima's friends, they're all caregivers for autistic children. So every morning, the Syriac girls who gather, that's what they do. They're caregivers. And maybe that's why when I saw that word caregiver, I said, you know what, that's what I want to talk about. Just bring some attention to this lady's what's the word? To her case. All right, folks, that's all I got to say. See y'all on the next one. Peace out.